Hey there, Mike here, the Fresh Rinse, en route to another opportunity, and I thought I would take a moment to maybe just a little bit of a change of pace. I was actually making a video, a house wash video, just a few minutes ago, and I thought this is getting boring, not for me, but for you, and so I thought I would maybe change up the pace a little bit, and I want to talk to you about how I set up my pressure washing schedule. I generally schedule 4 to 6 opportunities a day. Not all of those are always full house washes. Sometimes it's 4 house washes and a driveway, or 2 driveways and 3 house washes, or 2 roofs and 3 house washes, or whatever. But it's generally speaking, opportunities for me mean different stops. So if I have 5 opportunities, that's 5 different stops. Today it is 5 full house washes, and thought I would just take a little time in transit. I've got 9 minutes to my next opportunity to talk about how I set up my pressure washing schedule. So the best thing to do would be to make an assumption that I have 0 opportunities on the books whatsoever. God, may it never be so. Generally speaking, in the warm months, I will keep as many as 5 weeks scheduled with 4 to 5 opportunities every single day. And then I just begin to add to those as calls come in and people are willing to wait. Let me say this as a side note very quickly. If someone calls and they're either out of my wash area, they're not willing to wait, or if I have too many booked on a particular day that they desire, then I will pass those opportunities off to other people in my wash area, other businesses who can capitalize on those as opportunities. And generally speaking, I don't charge anything. I don't charge a fee, if you will, for that at all. I just give it to them and they quote it and they do their thing. So again, assuming that I have 0 washes on the schedule, I break my wash area up into what I call quadrants or sections. For the sake of the video, we'll call those north, south, east, and west. You will call it something else based upon the names of the towns in your section. Maybe you don't have anything at all west, right? Maybe you live on that end of your wash area and everything is east, north, or south. But for me, I wash pretty much in a big circle. And then Trenton, where I live, I just call that Trenton. So I have names for all of my quadrants. So when someone calls and they are in the southern quadrant, then I will put them on Monday. And let's just for the sake of the video, we're going to assume that they're fine with Monday. And so now we're calling, if they're in the south, we're calling that Monday, or calling Monday south, and everything that comes in prior to Monday that's in the south will go to that day. Marcate, my Marcate app, which is my CRM, allows me to color code individual jobs. So that first opportunity that comes in will be color coded. We'll say blue. So I know that south is blue. And so anything that comes in, I don't have to look at the actual day to see what quadrant that is. I can just see that that's blue. And I know that on the phone, while talking to the person, if they say they live in such and such a town and that falls into my southern quadrant, then I automatically just go to that day and say it'll be Monday. North, we'll call that Tuesday, Wednesday, east, so forth and so on. I like to finish my day in Trenton. So if I can manage to get a job in Trenton, and usually I do, then I will put Trenton on any quadrant whatsoever, because it leads me back home and I can finish in Trenton. And anywhere in Trenton is 5 minutes from my home, literally. So let's suppose I've got all of my days filled with quadrants. So I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with different quadrants. And someone calls in and they say, I'm in such and such a town, and I know that that's the east quadrant. Then I will poke on a day on my calendar that is green, or whatever day that I have color coded that for, and I will say, I have a slot open. I can put you in mid-afternoon on Tuesday, the whatever. And so those are all best case scenarios. If they say, no, that day doesn't work for me, then I say, well, what day of the week would work for you? And I will find a day for you. Sometimes it does mean breaking quadrants in order to get someone finished that I feel like is a legitimate opportunity. If we just can't find a day for them, then I will pass that along. For example, this coming Thursday, someone called and said, I need my house washed. They're coming to take pictures. Is there any way that you can get here? I looked. I have no day this week available for them. And so I said, I can't do it, but one of my partners will do it. And so I called up Brian and asked him if he's got anything open for that day. He said, I can make it happen. So he gets the opportunity. That's just the way that I do it. So it allows me to not drive all over the place. The goal is density. The most efficient way to produce a day and still get home by 4 and 5 o'clock is density in the work schedule. If I do 5 houses a day like I do today, I plan to be at home no later than 5 o'clock. Most of the time, it's around 4 o'clock, and that's if I keep it dense. I had a call back that I had to tend to a few minutes ago, and that kind of took me out of the way today. I didn't rinse a deck well enough, a composite deck, and it left some streaking, so I just had to go and rinse it real quick, but it still took me out of the way. So I had to factor that into my schedule, and so nonetheless, I'm going to get home a little later today than what I had planned, but still before 5 o'clock. And so that's how I set up my schedule. Again, let's just run through this very, very quickly. Every day is designated for a quadrant. It may change every week. In fact, it always seems to change every week. And then I fill that day with opportunities that are in that quadrant. And if they can't manage to break schedule and allow me to come on those days, then we either schedule for a much longer day out, or we pass it along to someone else. All right, I hope that helps. My name is Mike. They call me the Fresh Rinse, and I'm out.